This is Robert Plank from DFY Narration, and I want to walk you through the process of you uploading your audiobook to Audible. This is a service that I provide. We have a website called DFY Narration where if you have an existing print book on Kindle, or it can just be like the Kindle digital version, we can do all the work for you. Male or female narration, go through all the little processing hoops, and narrate your book into audiobook format, because a lot of people don't realize that there are a few rules when it comes to Audible, which I'm not really getting into. We're just going to focus on the uploading side of things, but they want you to record your chapters in a certain way and make sure that you're in a quiet room and have certain spaces at the beginning and end and process with like noise floor and RMS and equalization. And unfortunately, a lot of people have started their audiobook recording process but found it too hard, too time consuming, or even worse, recorded the whole thing on their iPhone or something and then had a whole book that they spent who knows how many hours, weeks, months recording that is completely unusable. So anyway, if you just want it done, if you want to focus on other revenue generating tasks for one single fee, and then it's just done and it's uploaded and you control it and you contain the copyrights, royalties, everything, DFY Narration. But I do want to walk you through how this is done anyways. If you are familiar with like KDP, if you know what that acronym is, you go to a special website to get your Kindle book online, and Audible is similar. They call it ACX. And so basically, when you want to be published on Amazon Kindle, you go to the distribution side of things, which is called KDP. And then if you want to be on Audible, then you go to the distribution website right here, which is called ACX. I believe it stands for Audiobook Creation Exchange, but who cares what things stand for? Let's just get you on Audible, which uses this site, acx.com. Audible is owned by Amazon, and this is also a site run by Audible, so it all connects. You go to acx.com, and you click on Get Started, and you register a username or an email and a password. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that if you already have an Amazon account, then you can just skip this step and sign in, I believe. But anyway, you can, we go log in, and then we can then sign in here. And I believe that if you already have an Amazon account under that address, the first time you sign in here, they will make you fill in some details. They will make you fill in like your name and your company name and things like that. And then once you create your account, the very next thing you should do is go to the top right and then go to account settings and then go to tax information. And then there'll be this button to submit your tax interview. And I believe they only really ask you things such as your business entity name and your tax ID. And then they make you click one final button to confirm it. And then usually they approve it instantly. Sometimes it takes a few days. And then you can also add your bank information, but you don't need to right away. So entering your tax information is required right away just to get a book uploaded onto ACX and then to Audible. So you create that ACX account, and many times you can stop here. If you are one of my DFY Narration customers, then I can narrate your book and then log in here and send it in your account. Now, if you're a stubborn person, and it's okay to be stubborn and do things yourself, you can then get your book online yourself. So here we are in ACX, and at this top right, or they move things, but now it's called Sales and Marketing, and you can see like how your audiobook sales are doing. So at the moment I have 2,000 audiobooks sold, and you can just go and see per book how well some of these are selling and see like the monthly sales reports and see your paychecks and things like that. So that's for use in the future. But for now, when you add a new audiobook, you go to My Projects on the left, and then on the top right, click on Claim Your Title. And one thing about having an audiobook is that you must first have a book on Kindle. It doesn't have to be like a print paperback, but you at least have to have the book existing on Kindle to then be linked over to Audible, and then it will end up on Audible, Amazon, and Apple Books that way. So you go and you click on Claim Your Title, and then it tries to help you out by searching your name. So the book I'm going to be uploading is called From Potential to Prosperity. So here we go. You click on This is my book, and then either I'm looking for someone to narrate and produce my audiobook, and that's where like you go to their whole marketplace and people audition, takes forever. But what I always do is I already have audio files for this book and I want to sell it. So we click on that. And then what territory rights do we own? I own the world territory rights. I never change this. I never limit it to just one country. And then what some people do change is you can either sell it exclusive to Audible or non-exclusive. And I almost always do exclusive just because there's other audiobook sites like Walmart and Barnes & Noble, but Audible is the major player, and many times you might have the best of intentions and just never get around to uploading to those other platforms. So I almost always choose exclusive to Audible. And then what language is your audiobook? For some reason they keep it at Danish at first, change it to English. So to recap, claim your title, find it, world rights, exclusive, my audiobook is in English. Click continue, and then I agree to the agreement, agree, and then describe your book, and they plug in the existing description from I was wondering what that little spot on the screen was. You plug in the existing description from your print book, and then copyright information, so your company name or whoever owns the rights, and those are almost always the same, print copyright year and audio copyright year. My book is nonfiction, and then this one in particular, sometimes it's business, this times it's personal development. And then the narrator, I narrated, and then my wife narrated, and then enter the publisher name. Okay, so you just fill in those little details like that, click on continue, and then click on start entering chapter names, and then import table of contents from Kindle and import. And so they do their best to pull your table of contents from the book because the different chapters of your audiobook will be in different audio tracks, and you'll be uploading individual audio files. And I would say maybe 60% of the time it pulls this in properly, and sometimes it adds like page numbers or there's way too many things and we have to clean it up. And as part of the DFY narration process, I do all of this, and it's easiest to get the chapters right on this screen. You don't have to, but if you don't set it all up here, then it's way more cumbersome to set things up one at a time. So we've got our 10 chapters, and this might also include like your introduction and conclusion chapters, but never acknowledgments, never dedication, never references, never table of contents or copyright page. You don't narrate any of those things. Those tracks don't exist on Audible. Click save and continue. And then this is where the magic happens. This is where you add your square cover, and then this is where you upload these chapters. And can you see how it was so important to get the chapters correct at first in that screen? Because if your chapters are out of order here, that's fine. You can go here and move up or move down or remove or add other chapters, but you can imagine how cumbersome it might be to be on the screen and have to add chapters one at a time versus in that last screen, which we can no longer get back to, you could just import or have a big old long list of your chapters. So anyway, we're here, and now it's time to fill this in. So the first thing we need to add in is our cover art, and they give you all the requirements and can be super confusing, and basically the shorthand is 3,000 by 3,000 pixels. I mean, they give you all this stuff, but I just say 3,000 by 3,000 pixels. And then you need to have the bottom right corner here clear, because they might add like a little peel or stripe, so just 3000 by 3000 pixels, you tell your graphic designer, or your Fiverr hire or something like that, and then keep this bottom right corner clear. So we click on Upload Cover Art, browse to select a file, and then I previously saved this book cover from Canva. And if your image is too small, it will give you an error, or if the file size is too big, it will give you an error. But you can see how we kind of kept everything out of this corner and we kept it a square cover. We click on Save. Now the cover's there, the authors and title are here. And oh yeah, one other thing since we're mentioning the cover, it's that the names have to match. So the spoken name, or the author names here, and the names on the cover have to be the same. And now all there is to do is, now that we have the cover here, we just go here and we upload these files. Now you add the opening credits, which according to the ACX standards, you speak out the title, subtitle, writer name, like author, and narrator name. And then, so we browse for this, for audio file here. Where we have the opening credits as its own file. And then we upload the individual chapters as well. And their system definitely is better than it was a few years ago, but it's still not 100% perfect. And you can really only get away with uploading up to 3 or 4 of these chapters at a time. So it doesn't take very long at all to upload them, and you definitely don't have to upload one at a time, but if you try to upload like every single chapter at the same time, it will crash. So you just kind of do 3 or 4 at a time, and even if your internet speed is halfway decent, it will you can't really keep up with it anyways. So we upload the individual chapters. Let me just go down the list here. And as these are uploading, if you messed up, so like you can kind of verify here that, and this is why I like to name my files with the chapter number plus the name, and so you can kind of verify if each one was correct. And if you find that you uploaded the wrong one, you can just go here to Action and Replace, and then re-upload that. And then we said before that you can move up or down, and then add other chapters in case you like really messed up. But anyways, we uploaded all these chapters, and then if anything goes wrong, if they say that like the way you processed it is not correct, then they will give you an error here. And then there's this audio analysis tab over here. So if like the technical details are not quite right, or if it's too long or short or whatever. But we have our opening credits and our individual chapters. And then on the bottom here are the closing credits. So again, the closing credits are part of the Audible standards, where you say the title, subtitle, author, narrator, copyright holder, and then the holder of the production copyright. And we go here and browse for the closing credits file, and then the retail audio sample, which is when someone's browsing through Audible, there's a little play button next to every listing, and you can play a sample, and 98% of the time we just read the book description that's already on the Amazon page. So we don't like give away the introduction or the first chapter, we just read the description on the Amazon sales page itself that's there to hype it up. So we go and browse for that retail audio sample instead. And once that is done, then it should give us the go-ahead. If we go really quick, see at the top here, there's this purple I'm done button, and it's grayed out because we have not added in all of the chapters. And here you see it right before our eyes, now it is clickable. And what we need in order to have this work for us is we add that square cover, we add the opening credits and all the chapters, closing credits and retail audio sample, and then this button becomes ungrayed out unless you skip that step about adding your tax information. So even if you added a whole audiobook. If you forgot to enter those tax details, it will not allow us to click this, or it will give us an error. And if you notice anything's wrong here, you can click on Edit Retail Information and go back to that previous page where you set like the narrator name and things like that, and go and fix that. But anyway, we're ready to go. We're done. Added the cover, added the audio tracks. Click on I'm done. You're about to submit your audiobook. I understand. Yes, I approve. And then here we go. Now it is sent in for review. Takes 10 business days, about 2 weeks. It very rarely gets back sooner. They won't approve it in a day or two. It'll take almost a full 2 weeks. And then they will send you an email almost immediately that almost seems, the way it's worded, it almost seems like it's been approved, but it's just an email saying like, congratulations, you sent your book into us. And if they ever come back and say something's wrong, most of the time, if it's not like a little audio problem, they also don't like a mouse click in there, but if it's not an audio problem, then probably their problem with your book is that the title on the cover and here and spoken in those audio credits all needs to match. So that's something that they might come back with. If they do, you just click on this change my audiobook button. But in the meantime, it's in your My Projects. Here's all my completed audiobooks. And so I thought it was, okay, so I guess it's completed, but it's in review. So it's done and it is sent in. So that is how we upload a book to Audible, by using ACX, by claiming our book from our ACX.com accounts, by uploading our square cover, and by uploading those audio tracks, one audio per chapter, opening credits, closing credits, retail sample, and then all those chapters in between, such as chapter 1, chapter 2, including a possible introduction or conclusion chapter, but definitely no table of contents, no copyright page, no dedication page, no acknowledgments page, no reference, nothing like that, just the chapters that someone needs to listen to your audiobook. But hey, if all this seems confusing, or if you didn't follow along, or you don't want to do it yourself, or you just wanted to see out of some morbid curiosity what was involved, well, there you have it. But I can make this way easier for you. My website is DFYNarration.com. I'd love to see you there. And I would love for me or my wife to narrate and publish your audiobook. That way your book can live not just on Amazon and on Kindle and print form, but also in the exciting, breakneck, action-packed world of audio listeners. You think of all the podcast listeners, all the smart speakers out there. Audiobooks are hot and audiobooks are all over the place. If you look at the most popular books out there, they almost all have audiobooks. So why not you? Well, maybe you say, shouldn't the author narrate their own audiobook? Well, maybe, but if you find that you don't have the time or the patience or the technical know-how to get it done, just contact me, DFYNarration.com. Would love to narrate your audiobook and get it on Audible, ACX, as we just demonstrated for you. Robert Plank, DFYNarration.com. Bye for now.